there are so many women and men in the area that made a difference for me. Lily, Dosha, Drennan, Weddington, my mother's mother. I spent most of my time with her. Um, they would teach you to be nice and to be kind, to be mindful of what you said to other people.
My grandmama, Mama Carrie, my daddy's mother, you know, because she used to take the paddle to us if we didn't do right, you know. Mama worked all the time, most of the time, so she couldn't be with us, but Mama Carrie was. She was Uncle Arthur and Uncle Lee's sister. And then they had a son, Gene. Uncle Arthur had a son named Gene. And we were just one happy family, I guess you could call it.
Naomi Drennan was a big influence. Thelma Miller was a superwoman. Well, I don't know, they're not from Grier Heights, but the school teachers around were great. They were, Mr. Banks was one of the teachers. I remember him very well, Willie Davis. We had good teachers and good leaders to help us when we were little, to influence us and make sure we stayed on the right road.
Mr. James Polk, who is now gone on, raised some wonderful daughters and sons, but their daughters have sort of taken the place of their father in making sure that Grier Heights becomes the community that the community envisions it to be. So Cindy Gill is one of those women of the community. Barbara Simpson, cannot forget Barbara Simpson. She has worked tirelessly to the point she has really worn herself out, had to step back from some things. But when I came here, Barbara Simpson was at the forefront. She was the person in the street. She was the one down at City Council. She was the one there at the Government Center speaking on behalf of the community. Here at the church, you will have an opportunity to speak to her daughter, and that is Miss Irma Kirkpatrick. Miss Irma Kirkpatrick is a legend here in this community. She was one who would gather the kids at her home and minister to them, as well as, try to protect them.
The person that has had the greatest influence on my life, I have to say, is my parents. They were quiet, they were workers, but they instilled in me a background of faith and family. And with that, it'll always be in me to help carry and nurture the person that I am and help me pass that to my children and grandchildren.
Well, quite naturally, my father had the greatest impact in my life. Most important is he instilled in us that we were very special, and that we were as good as anyone else, and that we could be what we wanted to be. All we had to do was live by the golden rule that God made us all. God made all of us, so we could do what we would really like to do. If we wanted to be a teacher, a lawyer, doctor, go to school, learn, and strive to be what you want it to be.
Probably Miss Kirkpatrick, because I had her, you know, I looked up to her. She was kind of like an example, you know, because she was a Christian lady, of course.
Miss Watson, she was a school teacher, and she belonged here at Antioch, and she's gone on to be with the Lord now, but she would, that's how I learned how to teach. She taught the elementary class, and I was in there. And she would tell, okay, you teach the lesson next Sunday. So that taught me how to study my Bible and how to be able to stand and teach. I learned that from her, how to teach. Then I learned how to live a godly life from my mother. And she would tell me, she taught me how to read the Bible too. She didn't teach me how to cook. She didn't teach me how to cook, but she would tell me, get your Bible. And I'll get my Bible and come and sit at the table, and I'll read to her while she's cooking. And if I said anything wrong, read what you see. That's not what they're saying. And I said, Mama, how you know? You're not even looking in the Bible with me. But she said, when you hide it in your heart, you'll know when you hear it, whether right or wrong. So I learned that from her.